Statistically, FieldView Cab has traditionally only been compatible in streaming data with an iPad OS device. But we're close. We're there with Android.
100%.
Welcome to Around the Farm, the podcast about all things ag. I'm your host, Tom Versman, and today I got Wyatt Jones and Andy Folta with me. Guys, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I'd say great. I would say great. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Well, hey, Wyatt, why don't you start off? Tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what you're doing for climate today and maybe some of the stuff we might touch on today.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. So it's good to be here. Appreciate the opportunity. My name is Wyatt Jones, currently serve as the Climate FieldView Brand Manager for the U.S., and so it's been an exciting year. I came on about a year ago with FieldView. Before that, I had the opportunity to work directly with our farmer customers in the field as a field sales representative in Southern Illinois. Before that, was a trainee with the DeKalb Asgrow brands. And then before that, got my start with the company actually as an intern with FieldView. That's where I met Tom out here in Missouri. So it was a fun summer to start off and got my foot in the door. And then to look back from being an intern to now as the brand manager of FieldView, it's been really cool to see everything come full circle.
That's right. And you're recently engaged.
That's right.
Congrats.
That's right. Off the market.
Off the market. There you go, Wyatt. Andy, what about you?
Long-time listener, first-time joiner. So happy to be here. Really appreciate the time. I'm our product marketing manager for FieldView in the U.S. So my whole role is to understand customer value, customer needs, and then how we position the things we build out in FieldView to the market. Like Wyatt, I've spent a lot of time in the company. I joined Monsanto Bayer right out of college as a trainee with the Channel brand, where I got to work with you in the great state of Missouri. Spent 4 years in the Pacific Northwest as a crop protection rep. And then I joined Climate back in 2020 and had the honor to serve Illinois as a field rep for the Climate brand. And then I joined this role back in January of 23.
No, that's great. No, we've all three gotten the opportunity to work together in multiple roles, I'd say, over the past few years. So it's been a lot of fun partnering with the two of you, and I'm excited to have this episode here with you both today. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. We're going to dive into a bunch of the new enhancements coming within the FieldView platform. And Wyatt, why don't we just start with you? There's been new pricing tiers that you've rolled out, and really exciting to talk about those tiers. And just because there's new pricing tiers, that doesn't mean we're just increasing the price for fun. There's a lot of new features that come along with those tiers. So maybe shed some light on where we're going and what's launched January 1.
Absolutely. So it's kind of cool to think back, Tom, when I first met you, where FieldView was at that point in time and what our go-to-market strategy was, what features and functionalities were available, how we were collecting data. I think Andy's going to talk more about that in a little bit.
Yep, that's right.
Versus what FieldView was when I was in the field. We continued to advance a lot of the features, functionalities, data collection that we were doing in the field at that time, and then where FieldView is today. And so as of January 3rd, we launched 3 tiers to where a farmer or a customer can engage with FieldView. And our goal with that was really trying to offer something to the marketplace or to our farmers that enabled them to really meet them where they were in their digital journey with FieldView. And so those 3 ways are through our 3-tiered approach of Prime, Plus, and Premium.
Yep.
FieldView Prime is a more basic level, entry level for customers who are really just getting into the tool, probably looking to utilize our rainfall technology, utilizing some radar weather technology, but also maybe collecting some data, but manually uploading that data. And that's currently a free offering to our customers. The next tier is through FieldView Plus. FieldView Plus kind of is for that grower who is collecting data in the cab and who is wanting to expand into the features that we have within FieldView. So some of the things that we'll talk about today, like reports, yield analysis, field region reports, some of those capabilities that are enabling them to start to see what's going on with their data and then make decisions from that data. And FieldView Plus today now sits at $299 for that price point. And then our newest and most robust tier that we just launched on January 3rd that we're really excited about, and we can talk more about it here in just a minute, is FieldView Premium.
That's right.
And so FieldView Premium is for that advanced grower that wants to really take the next step in their digital journey with FieldView. And so it offers everything that FieldView Plus has to offer, but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
In addition to all of the capabilities of FieldView Plus, that customer also has access to unlimited FieldView seed scripts. So those were historically $1 per acre. Now included in the base price of FieldView Premium, a grower can use FieldView seed scripts unlimited. We can talk more about the features as well, but a couple of the new features are FieldView Insights, which is where we help that farmer understand and really visualize their data differently. So we'll send them reports and agronomic insights all throughout the growing season. And one of the most important features or benefits to FieldView Premium, in my opinion, is the FieldView Premium support. So we think about our most valuable asset at FieldView. That's our people that are in the field.
That's right.
And so FieldView Premium unlocks that on the farm prioritized support, but it also unlocks when you call into our St. Louis help desk, you'll jump to the front of the line and jump to the front of the queue and get your questions answered first. And so really a neat package, neat offering for customers who are ready to take that next step in their digital journey. And that comes in at a price point of $7.99 this year.
That's great. That's great. And shout out to the support folks that are really helping keeping our farmers rolling in the field. That's always a great service, and love to see that team really getting bucketed into this premium component.
Yeah. And another neat part of FieldView Premium, I'll go ahead and grab it now, but when our customers sign on for FieldView Premium, the first thing that we do is our support folks in St. Louis actually reach out to them and make a touch point with that farmer. And really the goal there is to not only update contact information, make sure we have all the right phone numbers for the farm in case, help is calling in or a hired person is calling in, but it's also to initiate and make sure that their data is ready to have the best experience possible. So that's a big component of that. But following that call, we actually send the customer a FieldView Premium Welcome Kit, which I'll have Andy grab that now.
You got a prop here to show?
I'll have Andy unbox this.
But like we're on QVC.
It's a pretty cool touch point. So a farmer's going to receive this in the mail after they've signed on for FieldView Premium.
Yeah.
We give them some swag items like a nice FieldView Premium hat. We've got the cool Premium logo there on the side. In addition, we've got some things like a mouse pad. So if you're sitting in the office doing FieldView on the web, you can also utilize that. A cool pocket knife. So I know that anytime you're on the farm, always nice to have a pocket knife.
That's right.
On hand and at the ready. But one of the coolest things that I think that we do with this welcome kit is that we connect the farmer with their local climate enablement manager. And so the coolest part to me is that when you sign on for premium, you're going to get that prioritized on-farm support, and we initiate that with the premium welcome letter. So you'll be introduced to whoever your local contact is here. You'll get their phone number, a nice headshot, and an email, and that way you can kickstart that relationship right out of the gate.
That's great. We had a good conversation about headshots earlier before we started this episode. So who's your individual on that letter? Is that just an example?
This is just an
Aaron
example.
Ray on there.
This is just an example. So no headshot on this one, but yeah, normally the CEM headshot would be right here.
Oh, that's great. That's a great touch point, and love that we're shipping that out. And hey, really big fan of that mouse pad.
Yeah, and if I could jump in, so I was one of those CEMs out in the field, and I got to work with customers directly, and I do think that's one of the big differentiators of that premium support, because we've heard from customers that we've been really good at collecting data in the FieldView platform for years, but they want the data to turn into insights, and more specifically actionable insights, and that's where that connection with that premium level of support with a CEM, with a CEA in St. Louis, can really help a customer take that next step in their digital journey.
No, Andrew, I think that's a good segue. And talking a little bit about Drive 2.0 even, and maybe some of the future of the Drive. We got more props here and more unboxings that's going to be really exciting. But hey, maybe let's start where it all kind of began. We don't have the original 640 Drive, but hey, let's go with
you've been in climate longer than any of us. So I'm going to hand this one to you to let you talk.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so I was at Climate for about 8 years, and these are, and let me make sure I can get that up there. This is the FieldView Beta Drive here. So before we had any branding on it, we had this nice silver drive. I mean, man, that's
clean
stainless steel. It's like a DeLorean. Look at that
silver bullet
here.
Yeah.
So. But really the same thing as what we sell today as a Drive 1.0 Bluetooth connectivity, but just getting it out in the marketplace. But let's remind everyone, Folta, what's out in the market today, and maybe jump to what's new with Drive 2.0.
And so like Tom was mentioning, I'll put this here. This is the Drive 1 box, and we've got a Drive 1 that I can give to Wyatt. This is, our flagship data collection tool that we have out in the marketplace. Everybody calls it a hockey puck. I like to think of it more as a Bluetooth antenna. So you plug that into your tractor, your combine, your sprayer, and it'll allow you to connect to an iPad and to stream data seamlessly in the cab to your iPad so that you can get it onto a cloud solution. So this is, helps farmers who might have mixed fleets collect data and bring it onto the platform so that we can help them take that data and turn it into insights and actions. But where we're going, and we announced it at Commodity Classic, is our FieldView Drive 2.0. And we have one here. We're going to launch it this year in 2024
Very
after this summer, and I can hand it to you. You'll notice it's a little taller. It's a lot lighter, but it comes with a lot of things built in there. And when we think, Tom, how far ago did we create the beta drive? That was probably
2015 or 16, give or take.
I don't think
it's been some time.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have an iPhone that's from 2015 or 2016. So it's a big step up. And it might not look like that much of a change, but there's a lot that's packed in there. So it's twice as fast, or 12 times faster, rather, with its processing power. So, if I was collecting data and I didn't bring my iPad out there to the tractor, but I still had the drive, it's going to collect data, but offload time can take a long time. The Drive 2 can do that much quicker. It has a more stable Bluetooth connection, so you're not going to be dropping whenever you're out there in the cab. It can convert serial GPS. So, we all have done installs out in the field with farmers. If you have a serial GPS source, you're going to have to throw an ActiSense converter and additional cabling in there. The Drive 2 can do all of that.
Has it built-in.
Built-in. It can do all that in-house. So it's going to be a cheaper install, an easier install, and better experience. But the thing that gets me really excited, we talked about collecting data, turning it into insights and then actions. One of our best actions we can take is scripting, right?
Yep,
and that's right. Premium. And a lot of the things that we're launching within Bayer, like Pression, come with a recommendation. The Drive 2 can seamlessly execute scripts. So I can create a prescription on the web, or my trusted advisor can, or someone in my operation. It'll sync to my cab app and my Black and Gold app. Then I can plug the Drive 2 right into the monitor and push that prescription live in the cab as I'm switching between fields.
Love that. What's and I'm gonna put you on the spot, Folta. Are we expected to get these in the marketplace here in 2024, or is there still a little time to go on getting everything shipped out? What are you thinking?
We're producing them now, and Wyatt, you're part of the squad that's launching it, but we're targeting to launch a subset of them in 2024 and then a broad launch in 2025. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, so we kicked it off at Commodity Classic. Andy was actually on the stage, on the main stage at Commodity, talking about Drive 2 and what's new, the differences. And then like Andy just said, later this summer, we're really looking at that Farm Progress time to be, Farm Progress Show time to be the big initial launch. So if you're in Boone, Iowa, come by the booth and we'll be able to talk more then, and we should have a pretty neat showing of Drive 2 there.
Love that Farm Progress plug. It's going to come up quick.
It is, but it's really foundational to what we're building out. We're going to talk about other things in the platform that are around reporting and insights, but it all starts with being able to collect good quality data. So really happy to have Drive 2 out there in 24. And I'll just add that in Cab App 13.0, we enhanced the ability for data collection, not just with a Drive 1 and a Drive 2 or even Cab App for Android, but Precision Planting users also have the ability to now plug in their iPhone with that lightning cable into the back of the 2020 monitor to live stream data on their iPhone as well.
So I can just plug in my iPhone, use my cellular connection on my iPhone, and stream data with my 2020.
100%. And back to Wyatt's original point about meeting customers where they are. We know that a lot of customers, have an iPad, but some just have an Android device or maybe an iPhone, and we're opening up that ability for them.
Opening up a new bill. Android, the A word was dropped there, so let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah. So we know that a lot of people, have an iPad, like we said, or an iPhone, but we do have a lot of customers that are using Android devices, and we've heard that. All of us have heard it when we worked with customers out in the field that, hey, why can't I use an Android device to collect data? Especially down in Latin America where iPads are cost prohibitive.
Yep, you bet.
We know we needed to develop that capability, so we did already release in 2024 Cab App for Android. If you're on the Google Play Store, you can go out and find the app and download it. It is a differentiated experience from the traditional iOS Cab app. So you're not going to be live mapping data. You're not going to be able to see yourself going across the field. You're just going to get a blue screen saying that I'm connected to a Drive 1 or a Drive 2, and you'll be able to transfer data up to the cloud. So a simple experience, but one that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for customers who might have large fleets, might do custom work, to be able to collect data in a simpler, cheaper offering.
That's great. No, that's exciting. A lot of things... again, we were talking about how we've all worked together, and over the years, a lot of questions that we've been asked probably multiple times.
Yeah,
it's nice to see those coming into the product for sure. Wyatt, let's jump to you a little bit here as I'm thinking about field region reports. Been around for a while.
For sure.
But there have been some enhancements.
Absolutely.
And maybe you could touch on that a little bit. Maybe some other things that we've talked about later, or have at least been asked by viewers to get into the product. I know you've been excited about that.
Yeah. So Field Region Reports is one of the most popular, if not the most used feature in FieldView. And it's really neat to see, kind of like Andy just said, but we continue to take feedback from our customers in some of the panels or in some of the different brand partnerships that we have, and we take that feedback and we do our best to put it into the tool. And so if you're new to FieldView, or if you're trying to think what is a field region report, if you're on your screen and you see that little circle in the bottom right-hand corner, that's where you're able to actually click on that circle and then draw either your own freeform type of circle or region within the field, a polygon or a square. And really what that enables a customer to do is to make any part of their farm a trial. And so you're able to draw a boundary to then see, hey, I planted 2 products side by side. I sprayed 2 different products. I want to understand what that does. Historically, we were only able to see what those hybrids or varieties were that were planted there with population, elevation, and soil type. Last fall, we included the layer of application data. So if a farmer were to go in and spray some type of application, say a fungicide, you could now see a treated versus an untreated check with the yield comparison across those products. So that came out last fall. Here this April, actually in a couple of weeks, we're going to launch Field Region Report by application rate. So now a farmer is able to take that a step farther. And so really where I see this being powerful is, okay, now we're comparing maybe 2 products planted, 2 seed products on different soil types. Now when we spray that application or apply a nitrogen application, we can do that at different rates to understand our ROI. And so really what that means to me is, thinking back to my field days, we have different products that respond differently to different crop protection passes, different nitrogen passes, and depending on what that ear type is or what that kernel depth looks like, those application passes look different. And so really we're empowering our customers now to make every spot on their farm a trial and to see that layer of data that they've been asking for.
Yep. And I think, again, that's just, like you said, each layer you can capture, you can really dive into the data, drive
100%.
decisions on farm and place products and even try different chemistries on farm, which is exciting.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'll add on to that. And, we heard it from customers, we heard it from dealers, we heard it from internal people that's one of the most requested features that they had was Field Region Report by application. But where I get really excited about it, thinking holistically, is it has the capability not just to do product versus product, but to do practice versus non-practice. Like Wyatt said, you can go in and draw that region and we can delineate based on an application pass, but also a non-pass. So if you left a check strip, whether on purpose or inadvertently, we'll show, did that practice perform versus a non-practice?
You bet. No, that's great.
Yep.
That's great. Hey guys, this has been a really great conversation, and I think we're going to have to make this a 2-parter. We got a lot of fun stuff to dive into, and we still got a few more items on the list. So why don't we call this part 1, and we're going to go to part 2 here in a few weeks.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Hey Wyatt, before I close this out, why don't you give us a quick recap of what we talked about in this part 1 episode?
Absolutely. So as we gear up for part 2, just remember on part 1, we talked about the new tiers and the offerings that we have for our customers here at FieldView. That just went live on January 3rd. So one thing that I would encourage our customers to be aware of is, hey, if you haven't yet renewed, get a hold of your Bayer rep, get a hold of your climate enablement manager, and start that conversation. Then Folta talked about all things data collection with the Drive 2 that's coming out, with Cab for Android that just came out this year. And then that kind of segued us into what farmers do with their data. And we talked a little bit more about Field Region Reports by application and those new enhancements that launched last fall and then that come out later this spring to capstone that feature.
No, I think that's great, Wyatt, and thanks for running us through that. And hey, thank you, listeners, for joining us today. And if this is your first time listening or joining in, be sure to like, comment, or subscribe. We want to make sure we get any feedback we can. Please share your ideas and thoughts with us. And hey, we're wherever you get podcasts, so please do find us and follow us there. And again, we'll see you next time around the farm.